All right, welcome back to the newest episode of Citizens United. I'm your host, John, with my good friend and host.
Hi,
Noel.
Noel.
What's happening, Noel?
Oh gosh,
I know.
it isn't happening
I know.
today.
A lot of rain today because
Yeah.
I got soaked. I do Instacart, so I was going
Oh,
around.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, you know what? I'm so mad though because like there wasn't a lot of lightning.
I saw one strike.
Yeah, was there?
Yes, but I was on like High Park and Buffalo Avenue. Right.
Thunder and lightning. Like I could be okay with rain as long as there's like a horrible thunder and lightning storm.
Right.
I don't know what it is about.
Hi, Dawn. I used to be so anxious.
Hey, Chris, hi, Dawn.
I used to be a lunatic with the rain because the one place that we used to live, the back room would leak in the roof, and I couldn't take it. I don't know. Remember, Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how that was bad? I used to make me crazy, the leaking, because, and at the time we couldn't fix it ourselves. We were waiting for someone else, and it would just drip, and it would, oh my God.
Like my basement that one time.
Yeah, can I ask you, what did they ever find out about that? Did they ever say anything?
They had somebody come over and look into it, and they fixed it. It was, what was it again? My basement. There's like
the roots from the tree.
Roots from the tree.
Yeah,
okay.
Roots from the tree, and that caused other issues too.
Yeah.
Before, but I found some other cool things along with it too. So,
Oh, I know you did. Yeah, employees talking.
Yeah.
Hi Kim. The guy who's alleged there, he was talking to someone and was very upset over the allegation.
Oh.
Yeah. Said,
really?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I was laughing.
Why was he so upset?
No. Yeah, it's funny how people get so upset when they're I gotta say something. Allegations. How many times are they just out of the clear blue?
Right.
You know what I mean? How many times are you just? I wonder. We don't know that, but I'd love to know.
I mean, I personally wouldn't just walk by and say something, just be like, "Oh yeah, this person."
How could you make it up?
Even if I don't like somebody, I wouldn't just be like, "Yeah, this person raped somebody I heard once or whatever." Like,
or this guy stole. This guy's a.
Ask me. It's like a high school thing where kids don't like a group of kids don't like somebody, so they'll start saying.
We're talking about adults with people like legit stuff that you just don't make up.
Right. I always think it's impossible. I don't know how you could have that kind of mind and time to make it up. Like
some people, the details they go into for these allegations. I mean, that's a lot of details and stuff like that for false allegations.
It really is. It's crazy. It's nuts. You've sat more than me, but I've been on some of them, Robin too. Some of the stuff here can't be, there's no way that someone can tell me the exact color of something and to a deep down to the one we talked to, if you recall, knew the amount of tiles on the ceiling. Yeah. Because they counted them when they were being assaulted. Yeah. That's messed up.
Or you can just, that one time there was a phone call to a girl. The girl specifically remembers the guy making her call somebody in a different country to talk about how she liked it.
And as a little girl.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like what we've talked about this a million times. In those situations, the only proof you'll have is your memory, right? Exactly. And how vivid it is and what it is. I mean, because there's some things, I'm sorry, you just don't, there's no way.
How can they expect a young child or something like that to have proof and evidence from years ago? But then again, this other type of allegation thing, I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, yeah.
Find out.
We're going to find out. Robin?
I feel like the whole proof and evidence thing is just a way to try to shut people up.
Right, because the people
I mean, really, if we all think about it,
there's none.
When anyone, let alone a child, is raped, what kind of evidence do you put? Unless you run to the hospital, which if anybody...
That doesn't even work sometimes.
Which child is going to hospital?
I mean, any person is not going to do that. I mean, that's just not your automatic response, unless it's like a violent crime where it's somebody you don't know and the police have come. If it's what most rapes are, you're not doing that, and you don't have proof and evidence except, like you guys were just saying, except for the memories, except for the vivid images that you have stuck in your head.
Think about it too. Like when you go to the hospital, you have to get a rape kit. So now you're just assaulted by somebody who wants to get assaulted. Basically, again, like they have to do a lot of stuff for rape kits.
I've heard that you have to pay for it. There's like
there's something in the news about
crazy about that.
Like you're not supposed to, but they've made
people pay like hundreds of dollars to have the kit. Remember that? Because then they couldn't use it. And these things got lost. And there's
what about the people who did get rape kits done and nothing was done about it?
And then we got Tina's here, Kim Guthrie's here, and Gabriella's
here. Hi guys.
Hello everyone. So today's show we got a lot of stuff. I know we got some stuff about a guy who really did some damage to Niagara Falls. He really did with his first Niagara building, all the promises, all the nothing. Parlato is, we have a video of him later we can run.
Yeah.
Where he is, he's really embracing the thought of going to prison.
Yeah. Oh, well, but he was like just sucking up to, which is weird is he was like talking so lovely about the judge and the jurors, and it's like, wow. Like,
he was glowing.
Might as well just kiss all their asses at the time. Like,
I'm guessing he knows the outcome.
It was a fake indictment.
Yes.
Fake indictment. I mean, before, so he had to have done something, got pulled string. That's just my opinion. He had to do something because why? Out of 19 charges, you know
what we got to do someday, and I hate because it's in the past, but I'd really like to go. I don't know that whole story about what he did with that supposed cult.
Oh,
all that. I really think we should really someday, if we have time, I'd like to dig into that a little more because I'm sure it's not. It can't be.
No,
what he tried to portray himself.
Right. I think, in my opinion, he just got caught being a part of that, and he wanted to play the whistleblower thing and say, "Oh no, I was just He said I was just investigative reporting or something."
Yeah, I want to know what that was all about. I haven't had the time, and you probably haven't either to really.
I know kind of a little bit, but not all of it.
Because I'd love to know, because I've heard someone online, when this all came out with him on Facebook, isn't that the guy who saved all the women or something?
Yeah.
Was said. And I'm like, who the hell?
And that's the thing. And then people, and then recently somebody's like, oh, Parlato, he can't be a bad person. He helps people. And it's like, no, okay, that's what these people do. They pretend to be good people, and they're really not. Like, he's Nick D'Angelo's boss, best friend, sidekick. I mean, he uses that paper, and people like him, they use their stuff for, to make others believe that the person's lying. Like, he owns a newspaper. He's going to use that newspaper.
Oh, he's done.
And bash everybody he can to make himself look good.
And he puts it out there for free. That's another thing. We know about free here. People like to give out free things. And that just gives that goodwill feeling. You know what I mean? Everyone, we feel good about that because your dad, Noel, Jerry's watching.
Hey, Jer.
He's watching. He's watching. So anyways, we got that. We're going to talk a little bit also more about what we started out with stuff about why we have run into victims, many of them, that end up getting stonewalled. And then sometimes you never hear from them again.
Right.
And it's really kind of a sad state because if anyone sat in the rooms that you've sat in, me and Robin have had the opportunity to with some, you don't leave there thinking, there's no way. I would love for everyone to sit there and listen and then come out and tell me that this person is fabricating stuff. I can't see it. Right. That's from John. That's really John. Hi, John. I told you.
You did, yeah.
Who his sister is. Because you know her.
I know Dominique really well.
Right. So we got those things we're going to talk about. I also have a question for the people in the chat room if we get to it about voting.
Right.
But why don't we start off with what we were talking about before about victims, about why, and you're a victim, you're a survivor. Robin, you too, and many of you out there watching with us. So please go into the message board and say stuff. We're glad to hear your comments.
Yeah.
What in the defense attorneys? Let's talk about them. In every case we've seen, they really
go all out
to scare, right? Because go ahead.
Yeah. So I posted something earlier today and yesterday about I want to speak on the Niagara Falls Police Department, and the reason why is because they were used at some point in a way to scare people and victims into being quiet about not being believed if they come forward and make try to speak out against their alleged, rapist. Gotta be careful how I word it. Because I always believe the victims regardless. So that's just where I'm gonna be at. And then one of the things they like to say is, the police department immediately discredited and declined to pursue your claims. So no, that's not true at all. So like defense attorneys will go the distance and say, but you complimented this person before. This person has a great reputation, never had claims like this against them. No one's going to believe you, all this. I mean, they go hard. Defense attorneys, and I understand that's their job. You got to do what you got to do. I'm sure half the defense attorneys know that their client's a liar too.
You got to wonder how they do it.
Right.
You really got to wonder because, I just don't know how they do it. I guess I don't have it. I don't have that. I don't have the makeup of it. I mean, I could see defense attorneys just trying to, I guess part of their job is to lessen the sentence or whatever.
Yeah.
But these types of things that we've come across a million times, we've had them served to us a million times, we've seen them given to others. They just get more and more really,
the distance people will say and go to try to stop a victim from coming forward. And in reality, I just want people to remember, if there's I got told this all the time, if somebody wants to come forward about somebody, you can't say that they're lying, or just because that other person is, a well-known person, or nobody's ever made claims against them before. How do we know nobody's ever made claims against that person?
Exactly.
They're going to say and do whatever they can to stop it from being put out there, just like Nick D'Angelo tried to do, so nobody else comes forward. And that's all I'm going to say is, actually, no, one more thing to the Niagara Falls Police Department. I really hope to God that anybody who comes to you guys with allegations or, tries to tell you guys about a rape or assault that happened to them as children or their children or anybody, I really hope that you guys take that shit seriously and would never sit there and just assume that that person's lying. I mean, because I know for Nick D'Angelo, we had to go to somebody totally different because we could not trust the Niagara Falls Police Department. That's not saying anything about all cops, because I know some great people who work for the Niagara Falls Police Department. I know some wonderful people. But unfortunately, there are some really bad people there. So I really hope to God that you guys make it to where people feel comfortable enough to start coming forward to you guys and hold these predators accountable. And don't give defense attorneys a chance to use you guys, the Niagara Falls Police Department, as a thing to scare victims into shutting up. Because right now, Niagara Falls Police Department, Chief Basso, you have DAs using you guys as an example to victims into shutting them up.
Right.
You guys are now being used to shut up rape victims by saying that you guys don't believe their claims are lies.
Yeah.
Or not even lies, just saying that you guys think that they're lying. Okay, so please, Niagara Falls Police Department, I really hope that you guys, somebody's watching this and sees this, because I don't like that you guys are being used in that way, because we need to be able to trust the police and go to you guys for things like this. So
real fast before you go, Robin, I'll get right back to you. William Keller says hi, and he's watching from North Carolina tonight.
Hi.
John says, isn't it strange how they can even sleep at night? Don says, NFPD isn't doing anything about anything.
Fair enough.
Robin?
Two things. First, as far as victims go and having interactions with somebody who may have hurt them in the past, I think that's very, very common. I know in my own personal situation, that was the case, because it took me 30 years to accept what happened to me.
Yeah.
So this person was somebody that I knew and was part of my life. And so they continued to be until it all hit me. So for them to
they use that we've seen that.
Yeah,
you're right. Defense attorneys have used it.
Right.
They use that against them, saying, but you did whatever, and
you allowed this person, your kid, or this around.
Yeah, you said hi to them.
You said hi,
You were
whatever.
Well, you know what? Guess what? That happens because you don't always. And again, the person that I have in mind was a child. And so,
but you were a child,
and I was a child.
You could speak on your own.
Yeah, my own.
You were a child, very young. You were 12.
Right. And it took me a long time to process it and realize that had even happened to me.
Right.
And then, as far as the Niagara Falls Police Department goes, they'll take your report and the DA will do everything they can to make sure that they don't have to classify it as first-degree rape so that nothing has to be done about it. So they'll sit there and smile in your face and take your report and say, oh, gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. But then when push comes to shove, nobody wants to do anything about it.
Don't you wish you could have the DA say publicly or to the papers what they say to you or these victims in the room privately?
Yes.
Don't you wish that? Because I mean, then people are like, oh, the DAs didn't, pursue this or that. But how about you say what the DAs say to these victims and everybody else in a room privately, like, oh my God, this is a horrible person. That's right there horrible. That's first degree. That's he's a, but we don't hear that stuff.
I actually, in my first incident, in the lawsuit, the lawyer for the rapist, because he admitted to doing it to me, felt so bad that this guy was hiding his money and that I was getting so little that he actually threw his retainer back in and gave me an extra $1,000 because it was so pitiful what was going on and what happens.
John says they should have a victim's advocate that has some credibility and clout. You know where, John, you're right. And where you go, we always talk about the YWCA. They have great advocates. Robin used them. They were outstanding.
They have really great. I mean, I've never spoke to them before, but just the way you guys are saying it, like that's exactly what makes people feel comfortable. Is nobody wants to really get up and go anywhere. The fact that you could just call them over the phone is awesome.
Right. Yeah. William Keller says victims somewhat have a voice. However, the victims do not get the healing they need for the victimization. The biggest issue is victims of sexual abuse become re-victimized. I give lectures on restorative justice. Well, you should join. He has to join us one day.
Yeah.
When you're wherever you're at, you will have to join us. You need to be on with us one day so we could talk.
Where does he give lectures?
Well, yes. Gail wants to know, where do you give a lecture? Where do you lecture? I don't know. I'm sitting here like waiting for an answer. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I know, but like I was waiting to listen. Yeah, that's all right. You write it down. I don't think. Yeah, you can, right? Yeah. Okay, I thought so. No, not. Oh, okay. What's that? You got to say the whole name.
Well, I just, before I say, I like to be careful before I say things, and I just want to, there's been a,
NCCC.
Oh, NCCC. There's been for a long time, Robin had to fight a really hard battle with a piece of crap, and I don't think anybody got to know the name of the person or anything. And I would like to say it. I would like to just come out and say that this person admitted what they did to a child years ago. Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Mclaughlin finally admitted what he did to a child. He was an adult, raped a child. So just for anybody who ever sat there and thought that that person didn't do anything to a child or anything, or that person couldn't be a guest, what? Michael L. Mclaughlin.
Yeah, he goes by Mac.
Oh, Mac. Okay, so maybe people know him as Mac. He admitted to it. Finally. So
yeah.
His name should be right now just out there for everybody to hear.
There you go.
Right.
Robin's been waiting to do it, and she during her thing, when they gave her the money money never mattered. It could be $7 million, it could be 7,000 or 2,000. Doesn't matter.
But I'm sure the whole entire thing, the best part of it was just to finally have him.
And unfortunately, yeah, that's what our attorney Paul Barr said. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
And he moved from here.
Yes.
He lives here.
Right. He no longer lives here.
Out of state.
Yeah. Right. Ran out of state. Well, Nick tried running out of state too. For a while.
You wonder how many more victims in his path, because people never,
right.
Because everyone has to shut up and everyone has to be quiet.
And things like this, we get letters and them saying no one's going to believe you. This person, but you've talked to this person before, Well, when you're a child and what do you expect? Like,
this asshole was at our wedding.
Yeah.
That's how.
So that means that all of a sudden he didn't do it. You know what I mean? People are so stupid. Oh, but I've seen you gave that person a hug before. You used him as, somebody said this to one of the victims, you used him as a reference though before. You used him
Right.
as a reference.
Right.
So that means that he did not rape that girl, and
Right.
he was in a position to harm her or ruin her life.
You know what I love is that's proof that they
Right.
didn't do it.
Right.
But the memories and the PTSD and all that shit isn't proof enough that it happened.
Right. It's disgusting. They want people so badly to make police reports. They want people to, that's what I was. What did Tony Farina and Carletto and all them do to me say the whole entire time? There's no police report made. She didn't do a police report. She never went to the police. But what did they have? What the hell did the law firm say? Oh, well, the police, Niagara Falls Police Department, or don't believe you.
Don't believe you. Well,
and that's why I didn't. To be honest, that's why with my second abuser, I didn't go and file a police report because I thought, why bother? Why go through all that all over again for them to tell me, oh well, sorry.
Yeah, no, the district, we know what happened, right? They just don't want it. It's a lazy.
Right.
It's pure laziness.
It's just aggravating for them. Yeah. I think the only part that's aggravating is people. The people who sit there and, oh, well, there's no police report made, so they're lying. Like, you people are the problem.
Oh, they are the problem. And William says here, our court system is about punishment and not the restoring the life of the victims as best that can happen. Right.
Right. Look what we have working for our courts and our law enforcement. So we had Hugh Messer, who was charged with, taking advantage of sexually assaulting a child. We have Nick D'Angelo, who's still attorney for the courts, and he was for CPS. And it's like, that's who we have here in Niagara County.
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, and Dawn's says, right. Some abusers also tell victims, no one will believe you because of who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and because a lot of times they're people in positions of power. They're teachers, they're lawyers, they're doctors, they're judges, they're they're councilmen, they're priests. Yeah, they're people that we're taught to trust.
Yeah.
So when they say, "Oh, nobody's going to believe you," I'm this beloved teacher. I'm this well-known lawyer. Well, guess what?
Yep.
That doesn't mean that you're not a rapist.
Right. Like, what do they expect these people to come out and say, yes, I did it?
Well, that's good. Yeah, please come on.
Yes, please.
All right, we'll talk about that for next week or whenever you're available.
Yeah.
You can just come on. We'll send you the link and you're on. So yeah, I mean, it's been a long road. I know. Just watch it, being close to you and to obviously Robin. I mean, it's just, the road is unbelievably long. I mean, that's like the other last week when I said you give me PTSD. I didn't mean it. What I meant was I've learned about it from you. Not that you gave it to me.
They're these people are gonna do whatever they can, say whatever they can, and I just want, for certain people right now watching, I know they are. I just want to know the cease and desist letters kind of piss us off to the point, and others off to the point where we.
William just says, I was abused by a teacher, and what Robin just said is 100% correct.
Yes.
Yep.
And Dominic.
Hi, Dominic.
Sorry, no problem. Glad you're with us. And that's really something for William to come out.
Yes.
Like that,
yeah, that is.
Because I know like Paul Barr did.
Mm-hmm.
And the more, there's so much of this in the men and boys that it's just,
we need more men.
We know how that, I know. I can just think about it being a boy, a kid when I was a teenager, and you hear that.
Right.
The nonsense that would go on afterwards.
Yep.
So,
I'd love to know when you come on, would you be willing to talk to us about that? Because I'd love to.
I don't know.
I'd love to see if that's something. Maybe we can talk about that
privately.
But that's something I'd love to know.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could talk. Yeah. It'd be an interesting discussion for you. I don't know.
Oh, he said Paul is his attorney too.
Oh, great. Yeah, he's been good. He's good. I really wish the Child Victims Act would come back.
I know.
Because if the Child Victims Act would come back, all these things, some of the things that we've been dealing with would be perfect.
Can you imagine how many people would be?
We know a couple right now.
Right now, right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine, for people who are sat there and said, this person's never had claims about them before. You know how many more claims there would be that came back?
I know. And right. And I don't know why the communities aren't outraged that this went away. They don't even care. I was told by the assemblyman right to our face, right on here, it's never coming back.
Right.
He said it. And I was glad. There's no appetite for it. I'm glad he said it. Good. I'm glad we heard that. I got nothing against. Good. Thank you for telling me. He's right. There's no appetite for it. Why the hell would they want it?
Right.
Because
people could go down.
This is ridiculous. And the thing is, though, they don't get criminally charged. So what? We're protecting their wallets now? Is that what we're doing?
Right.
Because that's what ends up. They just go to civil court and Child Victims Act. It isn't as though they have any criminal. Because Jesus, Robin's situation was 1, 2, 3. It's first degree. I mean,
you just picked you this child alone.
And here's the thing about it. Like, how do you she looks at it, the DA at the time, and I knew it was what was going to happen. Did you know? Did you think it even had a chance?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You know what?
That's
yeah. You know what unfortunately gave me hope was when I went and filed the police report, and the police officer that I talked to, I mean, she was great and she was very empathetic until they had to call me and tell me that.
But that's all you can ask out of them,
right?
Because it isn't their decision,
right? So I know
that was good. I had said nothing but good things about them.
I know
they were tremendous how they talked to you, and the advocate from the YWCA was unreal.
Yeah, there are some really good ones. Really,
there are, but then it's out of their hands.
Yeah,
because then it goes to a DA that does not want this investigation.
Right.
In a million years, they don't want to have to go back 20 some odd years and figure anything out.
It's ridiculous.
There should be an appetite there should be a real appetite to lower statutes of limitations. Yeah. Where's that appetite?
Right.
Why?
You want to know what for that, the appetite. Next time, for the ones who, if you want an appetite for it, check your daughters or your sons.
Right.
Things like this. I'm sitting here thinking about it. My anxiety is going crazy. You see that? That's literally because I have such bad OCD anxiety. I'm just thinking about it. Check for stuff like that. You'll know if something might have actually happened to somebody. They don't want to tell you about it. Just little signs like that.
And the statute of limitations, I mean, I can't say enough how sometimes it just takes you a long time to process and realize what happened to you. And that it wasn't normal, it wasn't okay, it wasn't, it's okay to say something about it. It's not embarrassing anymore, or whatever is holding you back. It sometimes takes you a long time to get through all those steps, and so statutes of limitations for crimes like this are just ridiculous.
It is, and I had to have people, I had to have a whole bunch of people, different people from ever sit me down and tell me what happened to me was not my fault, was their fault. What happened to me was, assault. Like I had to get told that wasn't my fault, and so I wouldn't have really realized the whole time. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, I'll put myself in this position, blah, blah, blah. I had to have it, and I'm a grown-ass adult. I had to have people tell me what happened to me was not my fault, and this is not okay what they're doing. So.
Yeah. John makes a good point. The OG situation is a good example of civil justice. Yeah. They are criminally exonerated, and then they are guilty in civil court, and the victims are supposed to feel justified. Stacy says the DAs refuse to refer to the outside DA for fair investigation prosecution for child sex crimes occurring right now when it's another public official. Yeah, with physics and semen. There was something else that was just in my mind, and I guess it just went over.
Even think fantastic about
the survivor herself. Right.
She would want to look at that.
I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again. You have people right now that get their garage broken into.
Oh, yeah.
And they will go berserk. They'll be like, I say it all the time. Oh, I'm violated. Yep. I can't even go back in my garage. I'm very upset.
Yep.
My car, or if someone breaks into your car.
Yep.
I remember, God, I can't even imagine. I can't believe it. So what do you think about these crimes? These crimes here couldn't be any more despicable and personal and whatever else you want to say.
I heard a judge say this the other day on TV. It was about another situation. It was a girl who got kidnapped and raped. And the judge, I liked that judge. He said, I can't think of a crime more disturbing and close, right below murder, something right below murder would be sexually assaulting, raping a child. And that judge actually said it. So that was a decent judge.
And look at what we run into every day with the survivors you find of this stuff. And the best of all, and the worst case of all, is Belter.
Yep.
You watched the silence. Everyone shut up.
Yep.
As told. right? They were told.
That's what
They did it.
that poor girl said.
And
If
then
I would have known that this would be the outcome, I would have been loud about it. I would have talked about it. And that's why I'm talking about it. Stacy, I have her letter refusing emails. Wow. Can you send those to me, Stacy?
why don't we take a quick break? We're halfway done. When we come back, we do have we got some video to run too. If you want, you can decide. We got Parlato. We got some stuff that happened in Texas is really disgusting.
Yeah.
CPS situation.
Stacy, you're gonna want to watch this.
Let's take our commercial break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Thank you for watching. If you liked our video, then click the like button below and the subscribe button to be notified when a new video is uploaded. Here are some of our other videos. Remember to leave a comment below.
And we're back. Thank you. That, by the way, is my error. That usually is at the end of the show. We have a new shoot, I got rid of it. It's the on YouTube, Friends with a Z Media Network.
Yeah.
It's our new YouTube. And that ending there, when it's telling you that would be considered concerning YouTube.
Right.
So it's a little confusing. I'm sure that I had it there. Like us on Facebook too, please.
Yes, share this if you guys could share that.
Share. Our YouTube too, if you guys wouldn't mind, even if you just gave us a like, subscribe. And because we had a pretty good I saw one of our shows had about 80 views on YouTube. So that's good. We're starting to climb back to where we were at one time. All right, let's see what comments we got. Let's read this. Noelle, I think you need to take a trip somewhere and don't think about anything but having a good time and time for yourself. All this stuff about Nick is not helping your anxiety, but making it worse. Just my opinion. Love you.
Love you too. I would love to take a trip somewhere.
There's the Friends Media Network. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Put that up. Thank you very much. And thank you.
Thank
Tony
you.
Pasquale from Arizona has liked it. Thank you very much. What do you want to do? You want to throw Parlato up here? All right. Check out him being ready for prison.
You guys might know him. He's the owner of the Niagara Reporter.
It seems to be dead now. There's no more Niagara
Nick
Reporter.
D'Angelo took it over.
And it's shot because they don't give out any paper. There's no paper.
No, he just shares stuff once in a while from the Niagara Action page to it.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah, it'll go right to it.
All right, let's listen to him. And it's kind of, I don't know who was filming this. It had to be some, because of the noise in the back, I don't know. Just try to listen to his nonsense.
What are you thinking about your possible sentence?
Well, that's entirely up to the judge. You know, I think he's a very distinguished jurist, a man of incredible intelligence. I'm kind of deeply respectful of this judge, and I think that I was fortunate to have good people in this whole legal scenario. Great, truly intelligent and fair-minded judge. And you know, when you go to the judge, you go to justice. That's what Aristotle said, and I believe that. I think I get justice from him. I do think the prosecutors were reasonable, and you know, I had a few changes that I felt were important, and they were kind enough to accommodate it. So, will I be sentenced to prison? I don't know. Maybe. I'm prepared to do that, and I'll do my very best, whatever happens. But I do think that I'm entitled to a chance to explain what I did and why I did it. And please keep in mind there was only one document, one time, 12 years ago, and measured against a great deal of success.
My question for that, there's a couple things maybe you guys know or someone out there knows. First off, who the hell about Aristotle? He's out of his mind. He's a real, I don't know what he is, narcissist, I guess you'd call him. Because when you're quoting Aristotle, who the fuck? Come on. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Right?
I love how he's like sitting there, just like kissing ass and bragging, like almost like he's expressing his love and gratefulness for the judge and the jury.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what else? He needs boots just listening to him, right?
Yeah.
He can't even look at the camera, right?
Right.
The thing with him is though, like, too, what's success?
Right.
I don't know of any success. I can't think of any. He was devastating to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Once the one reporter, Mike Hudson, passed away, the Niagara Falls Reporter stopped being what it was when it was good. He had one Niagara and he just destroyed. We're going to have Aqua Falls. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. He is one of the worst figures that Niagara Falls ever had. I would say he'll go down in history as one of our worst, he wasn't even mayor. He wasn't nothing like that. He was one of the worst. He goes down there in some ways with what happened with Smoking Joe.
Yeah.
When you think about it, with Vincenello.
Now you want to talk about narcissist and all of that? It's Frank Carlotta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap! Is he a narcissist?
I couldn't believe when I saw that. I don't even know why. That's one of those ones that you know you're in love with yourself when you put that out there, because you had to look at it and like, oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want people to see me in that light.
Remember the crazy stuff he used to be associated with women?
Oh my God! Back when I was on WJJL, remember?
Yeah.
When I found all that, and I think you found it before
too.
Somebody
wrote an article about him, about how he's just not a good person, like how to not. Oh, it was titled "How to Not Run a Newspaper." And it was all about Frank Carlotta.
Back in it was early 2000s when I was on there, but no, 2000. Yes, it was the most unbelievable thing I ever seen. He had some kind of what do you call it? What is it? From India, like one of those not a guru. That's what it was. He had a guru that was, and it was unbelievable.
This is by him.
About this. This is by Frank.
This is what he says about women. The girl says, originally written Carlotta wondering why some of his reviews were running in some word, and then the response he got will make your jaw drop. Coming from someone who's running a newspaper in 2012, Carlotta wrote that, I don't want to publish reviews of films where women are alpha and men are beta, where women are heroes and villains and men are just lesser versions or shadows of females. I believe in manliness. Not even on the web would I want to attach my name to Snow White and the Huntsman, except to deconstruct its moral rot and its appeal to unmanly somebody's messaging me, unmanly creeps. If you care to write reviews where men act like good, strong men and have a heroic, inspiring influence on young people to build up their character, if there are such movies being made, I will be glad to publish these.
That was it. That was probably from That's part of what I remember.
He's a woman hater.
I wish I had saved those stuff. I really wish
he had a whole website.
Dedicated to it, where he was saying some stuff
that women should be subservient all the time.
Yeah. And he was even writing emails to Nick D'Angelo at one point telling Nick, stop bowing down to women. You're stronger than that. Stop doing that.
And there he is. Yeah. And they're gonna let him go. Yeah. He's not
19 count, right?
And he gets one.
Right.
He gets on one. And the one is what? Tax something.
Yeah, and he just got, and he was just charged, or had
We had that
assault charge on him. It
dropped.
randomly got dropped. It was in Monroe County, Florida, and in the beginning, he was ordered to undergo anger management evaluation and treatment because of the assault. And then the victim randomly decided to not pursue it.
Pursue it. That's odd, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know from your own.
We know why.
You know from your own situation where he was trying to give you money.
Yeah.
He's straight out offering it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I had a.
What did he ever give a price?
No, I had somebody with me that heard the whole thing. He said, what he almost wanted.
He wanted you to give.
He
the
wanted
price.
me to name a price. Like,
well, he would have thought he got you then.
Yeah, and then he was like, what can I give you to make the call go away? I'll make sure Nick gets some help or treatment done. So
Yeah.
That's how you know him and Nick are.
That's like
I'll make sure Nick gets treatment done. Oh yeah, you're gonna
sounds
make
like
sure.
Deshaun Watson,
the
guy from the Browns,
yeah,
quarterback. Or he said, "Did you see any of that real fast?" Now did you see what he said? He had the Cleveland Browns come out and they're like, we're gonna give him counseling and we believe in second chances and all this shit. He comes out right after and says, "I didn't do this. I'm standing by my not guilt." All this stuff. I'm like, oh my, this guy. Yeah, yeah.
What?
And the DA was the one we'll go right back to the justice system. The DA in that case was the one who kept meeting with Watson's lawyers, and because the one lawyer for one of the women had a whole thing in the New York Times, and it was everywhere, where he was going nuts. Like, I wasn't a part of these meetings. Why were they meeting alone? And obviously, we know
That's
because
kind of
they didn't charge him.
Yeah, that
Goes on here all the time.
yeah, exactly. Like from D'Angelo, the DAs and everything don't keep anybody. I mean, obviously nobody's asking you to give us every single bit of detail and stuff with the DAs and stuff, or even the D'Angelo case. They don't give anybody anything on what's really going on, or even make the victims feel
that anything's happening.
Okay, like they're safe or comfortable or fighting hard enough for it. It's ridiculous. And if Nick tells them not to talk to somebody, they won't talk to them. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting, and you're right. The victims are never made to feel anything.
Right. So why would people
kept in the dark and let the guy run around?
Yeah. Why would people trust?
Any of them. I don't trust them
more.
I don't. I used to, I guess, but I'm done. I'm gone.
To have faith,
yeah, I'm
out. I've had it with the entire thing, and we know it was made this way. That's the other sick part. We just not making mistakes.
Yeah, they want the victims back down and drop out. They want the victims to just.
That's why they let that Child Victims Act just expire, and then and then Morinello said we have no appetite to do it again. Come on, sure you don't.
It was their child.
Well, then they say that stuff
too.
They
love to say my child.
That always is annoying, right? What's the matter?
You know what? I would love for them to say that to somebody whose child it is,
right?
And see what kind of reaction.
Our great councilman right now made that. He made his big claim. I remember Miles. Remember the one time on Facebook when he's like, "Oh, if it's my kid, then all the." So it doesn't matter if it's your neighbor.
Right.
It doesn't. You don't.
Why does it have to be your child for you to be pissed off? Doesn't it? Just the thought alone of a child getting sexually abused by an adult
should turn.
That should piss you
off. Piss you off.
I'm pissed off right now just thinking about it.
They're not human. Something's wrong.
Right.
I mean,
there should be
starving right now. There should be. You want to talk about protests and riots or whatever you want to say? There should be over this. That we're not having, that they allowed the Child Victims Act to expire and didn't even want to pretend to make it come back.
Let's take away children's voice. Let's take away all.
The mainstream media doesn't cover things the way they should on any subject anyway. They select what they want from whoever, and it gets out there. So things that are really, really important like this is shoved under for whatever reason. And until the mainstream media is changed to report important news, I don't see anything changing.
No, people in the media are predators themselves.
And everybody just wants sexual assault to go away. They just don't want to acknowledge.
Actually, I'm surprised they even have it. And this must be really. I'm surprised it's even a crime.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they just didn't say, you know what? It's a ticket, misdemeanor. Here you go.
It's a horrible crime if it's not.
If we can never do anything about it.
From the police to the DA to the courts to the media to normal, normal people, Nobody wants to take this seriously.
But, you
And
know,
everybody wants to say, oh, if it was my kid. Well, guess what? Keep waiting.
Yeah.
And it's going to be.
everyone's not your kid, right?
Right.
And it's going to be, I promise you, with Nick D'Angelo, man, all these other ones too, but Nick D'Angelo, he's getting around to boys, girl. I mean, he's everything. And what really aggravates me the most, and I hope, like I said, the Niagara Falls Police Department is going to see this or whatever, but that now you guys, obviously, I don't know if you guys are just not doing your job that good or what, but you have now the predators are having their attorneys use you guys as examples. The Niagara Falls Police Department isn't going to believe you, and they don't believe your claims. Our Niagara Falls Police Department now is being used to defend
I can't imagine they would say that. I'd love to know. We can't even ask that response. But would you guys to get a response?
I would love to know why the police,
why
our police department is being used to defend sexual predators. Because they wouldn't.
Because guess what? When Robin went down there to make her report, she had all the same vivid memories as a few of the other people we talked with. So they took her report, and I will give them credit. They were awesome, right? They were great to you.
They were great.
And then the DA just squashed it, ripped it to shreds.
How's that happen?
And they didn't want to do they didn't want to do right. They didn't want to do the work.
It was like with Sandy when she went to go, like what happened there at the FASO protest, and then all of a sudden he gets arrested, whatever, really quick, and then they tried putting it in front of FASO, and it just all went, she asked for a restraining order, but no, I don't think he's going to bother you again.
It's unbelievable.
We're sitting in a country where the sex trade is #1 in the world. So the United States of America indulges in the sex trade. Tim Tebow is covering this.
We got to put this on there.
You got to see Tim Tebow.
I got the video.
I mean, everybody loves. Who doesn't love Tim Tebow? I mean, he's an awesome human being, and he's enraged, and he's doing something with his wife. They're out there all the time talking about it, but it takes more people to get that across. Contact Tim Tebow would be a great idea.
To see if we can get
or their organization,
because we're the only ones here that I know of in anywhere that
we have a victim talk staff.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go to. There's no news media. There's no outlets, media outlets, or anything that helps victims.
I'll beat this into the ground. And I don't care. I could care less. I could really care less.
And you know what else? People don't acknowledge how much it helps a lot of victims to be able to come forward and tell their story on a news platform and have people. I mean, it just gives a sense of validation for people.
Yeah.
Do we want to play this video, this CPS video?
Yeah.
It's about 2.5 minutes long. It's from Fox News in Houston, and it's unbelievable
right now.
And it happens here.
Keep in mind, Nick D'Angelo was hired as a favor for CPS, Niagara County CPS, Department of Social Services.
And wait till you hear this. This is what we've been talking about here. Wow. Down in Texas.
On camera, telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to become a prostitute.
That's right, and this girl is one of hundreds of kids in CPS custody living in hotels all over the state. Fox 26's Randy Wallace live from Southwest Houston here with this story. Randy, the exclusive.
Yeah, Jonathan. Now, earlier this year, a federal judge scorned Child Protective Services for making kids available for prostitution in the CPS system. Now we have a case where an employee with that state agency is actually encouraging prostitution of a 14-year-old child.
Don't be a hoe, be a real hoe.
Wouldn't they remove a child from a parent that told their child to be a prostitute?
They should. And they would.
Keisha Basley has 9 kids. She turned to Child Protective Services to help her with her 14-year-old daughter, who she says was running away and causing trouble at school.
My daughter told me that the worker had been telling her that she should do these things. So she said she decided to video her.
Can you get something to eat, please? CPS is housing the girl at a hotel. She's one of dozens in Harris County. In the video, she tells the CPS employee she wants food. The CPS worker tells her to be a prostitute. I mean, she was basically encouraging a 14-year-old girl to become a prostitute.
And giving her an incentive to do so, and almost a threat of not having her needs being met if she didn't do what this woman very explicitly told her to do.
If the parent, was to do something like this to my child, I would be bashed. I will be called a horrible parent. I will lose my kids.
Basley filed a formal complaint with CPS.
This should not happen to girls in their care. This should not happen. This is unacceptable.
Jamie Masters, the commissioner of CPS, came to Houston to personally apologize to Basley and her daughter.
I've never seen that happen before, where a commissioner of CPS comes in from Austin just to apologize about something that's horrible that's been done to a child and a parent involved with CPS.
I do not believe that that was genuine. I really don't.
It's bad enough if it's one rogue caseworker. It concerns me that it may be bigger than that, and they need to investigate this and make sure that it's not just one person, and they've got to figure out a way to protect these kids.
CPS sent us the following prepared statement. DFPS is aware of the video and has taken action. The person in the video, who was employed as CPS support staff, was dismissed from her position August 10th. The safety and appropriateness with which children in care must be treated is our paramount concern. Nothing less will be tolerated. Reporting live from the Southwest Side, Randy Wallace, Fox.
As Stacy says here, Texas, New York, California, and Florida are the worst states because obviously we're border states. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many. I found so many of those stories. There's so many going on of shit like that. I mean, CPS and foster care, all that. That is almost like the biggest people to traffic children. That's what's going on. They're one of the biggest.
And since the green light has been given by this administration, everything you're talking about is skyrocketed. And they're pouring them into New York City, as you know, and they're being put up in hotels. This is encouraging this stuff. In hotels, free medical, free food, and free cell phones. Immediately, as soon as they're getting off the buses, then they go to a hotel room. That sends the message down there. The cartels are making more money to bring these people here. These kids are coming by themselves, young girls, young boys, and you saw it. You see the things with 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 5-year-olds by themselves. You imagine what these guys do.
Oh, you guys, if anybody's seen what I posted, the Dr. Phil thing, the
It's
girl
a
was born into the
smorgasbord.
trafficking. Born. I mean, they make these people have babies just to be trafficked.
Right now, it's a smorgasbord, and from what I hear, the cartels are on this subject are making $20 million a week.
Yeah, that's big. It's the number one. It's the biggest money maker ever.
Yeah, and
trafficking.
I remember CPS back in the 90s and stuff. You know, if it was there, I wonder if this was going. And this couldn't have just started. It had to have been going on, and we would have never known.
It's always probably been going on.
What do you think happened to the girl who tried speaking out against it? The woman from CPS, the woman, first woman to speak out against it and say what's really going on. They murdered her.
Yeah. Sure, they're under the gun. Once they get a hold of these kids, they'll use their family against them. If you tell anybody, we'll murder your family back in Guatemala. It doesn't matter.
That's what and that's exactly what happens to a lot of the predators here. Just the ones, you know, the ones that assault children. They do that too. So that's like the playbook.
We need an army of people like Tim Tebow and the high-profile people just really start speaking out across the nation.
I want everybody after this. I will make sure I'll post it on our page and everything. I'm going to post the video with Dr. Phil interviewing the girl who was born into the trafficking, and she'll tell you who bought her. Feds, FBI agents bought her, attorneys, police, stuff like that. So it ain't just like regular people off the streets buying. This is like, I mean, these people we trust, like, you know, people like Nick, you know, Nick D'Angelo and people like them, they're buying these kids, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It's horrific.
I don't know what we need to do, but guess what? We need to get home.
When I hear there's no appetite for a Child Victims Act, and all that does is bring it to civil court.
Right.
It doesn't even make it criminal.
That makes it another green light.
Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't even like the person that hurt Robin's a level 3 sex offender. He truly is, but he's not listed. No one knows that. He's just running around.
Well, yesterday I had somebody question one time, how come you hired Nick if you knew that he was the one who did that in high school? I didn't know he was the one who did that in high school. I didn't know that.
How would you know?
Right. If I did know, guess what? I wouldn't have hired the piece of shit. I wouldn't have been put in that position. And so, I mean, Janelle Faso knew that that's who he was. Janelle had it worked with him and everything. People knew this stuff. I did, and other people don't. So guess what? people are hiring him not knowing who he is, and then get stuck in that position.
She's gonna warn you.
How CPS is not finding out who they're hiring, who they're putting in these positions to deal with vulnerable people, and you're not even going to look into the background of the guy.
And it's not it's county legislators that do this. Yeah. These people get hired through the legislature.
Yeah,
they don't get hired they don't go see like the head of the CPS. They don't even. It's the legislature has to push it through. They could stop it. I mean, what do we have? Like, I don't even know how many are there. Like 19 of them, 20 something. None of them stopped when D'Angelo came to their desk.
And you know
they
what?
Just let it roll.
They figure the courts let him go. He's okay. They're going to give him the second chance. There's a lot of people sit there and go, well, they don't know the whole thing. They'll say, well, the kid deserves a second chance, whatever. But that's not what this guy.
Nobody who even if there's a rumor, I don't even care if, whatever. Even if there's a rumor about somebody that you heard, they shouldn't.
You better look into it.
You better look deep into that stuff.
I don't want to risk it.
It's not like he robbed the store,
right?
Something like that.
Right.
This is
you can rehabilitate that stuff when they're robberies, right? You can't. I'm sorry.
Give the kid a job.
You can't rehabilitate these guys.
No, you can't.
Or women, whatever.
It's proven all over any sexual predator.
Yes, for child, and he's still working in our court. I mean, they could have him suspended by now. They could have him suspended by now. They could. There's no excuse. 100% Nick D'Angelo's license at this moment could be taken and suspended. They could have been suspended the minute. No, it could have been suspended the minute that they heard that there was not an investigation. But guess what? Mary Davis from the grievance committee, you're watching. You're a disgusting pig as well. So you're not doing your job. You're probably with him doing all that. You're a piece of shit. You're making more clients and victims and children because of you not wanting to do your job, and all the other people in the courts and everybody else who doesn't want to even hit a fucking share button. You guys are pissed. Excuse my language.
Anybody with a half a sense and decency would always say you err on the side of safety. If you're going to make a mistake, fine, but you always, like a teacher, you always err on the side of safety for a child, especially. Right. These people do the opposite.
Right. Right. The Niagara County Legislature does the opposite.
Right.
They basically
he's good with Fasos. He knows this.
I know his dad.
He knows the judge. He's all right. He didn't do it. He, like the neighbor that I know, defended him and said, he only kissed her on the cheek. And they believe it.
Yeah.
He's like convinced that's all that happened. He kissed this girl on the cheek. Yeah. And so you let him go.
Right. Not even knowing, and because Nick had it all sealed and everything too. So it's like
that's what they do. I didn't do anything, Mr. So-and-so. I just kissed her on the cheek and they blew it out of proportion. That's what he's telling me.
Yep. And then they have parents that can go around and tell everyone, spread the news around the That's what happens. It's right. And now Stacy says, you're right, Stacy. It's not accidental oversight. It's by design, or else Watazik would have referred case out. This is definitely working like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. It's going well.
They're in sync. They're in sync with the rest of the nation, actually. If we're the #1 sexual predator site in the world, these people are just part of the
part of the machine.
Right?
How can and then the thing is, people don't even look into who they're voting. Then you vote people in because of their last names and shit. It's like if somebody says, "Oh, well, Nick D'Angelo's not running my campaign." Oh, I'll believe her because she said it.
He could have ran and he'd have won.
Oh yeah,
if he would have ran for something, he'd have won. You mark my words. If he would have ran for city council, for judge, whatever, he wins. They wouldn't even care.
He was running. He was going to
be. And he'd have these charges. No one would even care.
He's going to be Senate.
You'll get half the population, just like anywhere else. You get half the population in the city. When you mention the story, they go, "Huh?
Yeah,
right. Huh?" They don't even listen or realize or have any. They're just out to lunch.
Well, they allow Nick D'Angelo to run out half the media around here, and it's like, damn. At least you, the Niagara Falls Police or the police chief, you knew Nick's out there making all these false stories and putting stuff in the papers, and you got mad about that, but you didn't even mention his name. You didn't mention what page you're on. You could have that stuff. I'm sure. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, you got to go talk to this person. I can't do nothing." This person. Somebody at some point, one of you people have the power to do something about it, or at least open your damn mouths. And I don't know how you guys can't, because a lot of you people are parents yourselves, and it's actually disgusting. And I need to calm myself down.
Because they have a platform, so they have a nice platform. When you're an elected official.
Oh yeah, well even people in city council, you guys have have a mouth. You have a freaking mouth on you. I've heard it, I've seen it. Nobody could get on their lives, or nobody can go up there on the city council, stand up and say, hey, by the way, we have a sexual predator, Nick D'Angelo, out here roaming the streets. Just to let you guys know, because I care about the city. And then, I'm even if you're part of the peacekeepers and share peacemakers, guess what? That's your job too, I feel like, to let people know. I don't see nobody on there saying shit. No, nobody.
They don't call out any sexual predator.
No, they don't. And it's like, okay, well,
they just want to ignore it.
Yeah,
they just want to ignore it. And that's why our city runs rampant with these people who are just doing it over and over and over again, because everybody that isn't directly affected just likes to ignore it.
Yeah. It just gets ignored. That's why I'm pissed, because nobody still says shit, and they all know about what's going on.
Yeah, keep your heads in the sand.
Wait till it happens to your child, because it will happen if nothing's done now. Mark my fucking
because
words.
it's stunning when you realize, when people come forward, and it's like, sometimes Robin, we've talked, I'm like, I think it might be half the city, half the females in the city. Seriously.
Yeah.
I can't even believe this. I can't even look at anyone anymore and think that didn't happen to them.
Yeah, just what
That's
I got.
how bad it is.
Just what I got last night alone.
Right.
What Nick is still doing. What Nick D'Angelo's out there doing right this second as we speak. Like, I have people coming to me and telling me everything and showing me what's going on right now with that motherfucker. And guess what? Nobody's saying nothing.
And you'll hand it over to the proper people.
Yep.
And
and what?
We'll be singing, he'll be singing Merry Christmas or whatever he'll be doing.
Yep.
You know what? I want to, before we start doing all that, I got one last question. This maybe we'll try to slow down, because I know we're getting mad here.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting mad. No, you're getting mad. She's getting off. I see Robin's getting her hat's. Yeah. You all right? Smoking like a chimney or whatever that is. We've elected another pope again. We've elected so many popes here. Yeah, it's the second time. The white smoke comes up. That's it. We've got one. Let's see. Oh, don't worry, Gabriella. You can see it after this live goes forever. Here's my question. We have an election coming up August 23rd, I guess. It's like a primary, whatever. Voter enthusiasm is down. No one gets low. This has to do with Brian Higgins. This has to do with, like, he's running. I don't even know. It's your congressional people and stuff like that. No one seems to care. Why? And you guys know why? Why doesn't anyone care?
Because nobody usually gives a shit unless somebody's out there making a huge deal about it, or telling people that they're going to do something for them, or that's why we're in the position we are.
But a lot of people, and us included, sometimes we used to have this conversation that, my vote doesn't count. My vote, and then yes, it does. Your vote counts. Get out there and vote, for God's sake.
I mean, Niagara County, who knows? It's very corrupt here. So
yeah, but still, you have to vote. You have to.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is that when people say my vote doesn't count, right, it does count. But if we were in a place that's super corrupt and you have people like Nick D'Angelo showing there running polls, or people,
right. I know it does. And hopefully, with the more limelight with the show and people talking, if we can get people talking, the more limelight, the less the scumbags are going to come out of the woodwork. They'll hide. They you know what I mean? Right. The chances of corruption is lower if everybody's watching.
Yeah.
I have a good reason why. Because they both suck.
Yeah.
Both parties are losers. Look at us. If you sit here in Niagara Falls, go ask Brian Higgins what he's done. He can't. He's got no answers. He didn't bring us the COVID relief money. That was coming. We didn't matter who that was. It could have been anybody. We were getting it.
Take advantage.
Yeah, there's someone. But the Republicans and the Democrats give us nothing. Why would, and this is just me now trying to take it off the voter program, because I know they are apathy. But also me as a voter who votes, I look at them like, why? Because you're giving me, Mr. Smith, who may be a Democrat, but then you're giving me Mr. Jones, who's exactly the same. He's a Republican. I'll just go like this. So I don't have any good reason to go there.
Right. I feel like these people I feel like the right person would make people want to vote.
I think so.
I feel like the right person would make people want to vote.
We've seen that in some places.
They're very rare. They're rare.
Rare.
Yeah.
They don't get out there. They don't get to.
My opinion, you need a bull. You need a real bull. Somebody who's.
Well, you got to be someone who just don't care. You're not afraid.
Right.
And you're not afraid.
You're not. Palladino's a good.
You just go there.
Example of something like that.
I had always thought when I wanted to get on that debate stage, that would have been the first thing I would do, and tell them, you guys are losers. You guys basically are failures. So why are you here? You have failed over and over repeatedly. and we keep on electing these failures. And those people on that stage may not have failed yet, but they're gonna, because they're just the same guy. They're just the same person. Okay, I'll take out Ken Tompkins and you give me Zajac. Okay, they're the same freaking guy. It doesn't matter. They're gonna do the same thing. No, he got already elected. Well, this upcoming election, though, I think Tompkins is gone, and so is Spanbauer. So there'll be 2 open seats to God knows who's. You got to hear some of the people that are possibly in the running to be named in these seats, where they just put people in there, because and then when that happens, then that gives them a leg up on winning, because now they become like an incumbent.
Help pick people up.
Part of the problem.
I don't even want to say
that. You're absolutely right, John. Part of the problem is, and most people think this way, is Niagara Falls is a sinking ship. Yeah. When you have that mentality that it's sinking, who's going to jump in? What quality is going to jump in and save us?
Yeah.
Who's going to do that?
Well,
they're going to just go, I get so much money for being a legislator, I'll run.
Yeah, but they don't
jump
want
in
people.
And do exactly what you're saying.
But they don't look at where, like, they don't want people good to run. Like, so when somebody tries to run, a good person tries to run, they'll do anything they can to make them not run or stop.
With the fake news, absolutely.
What you got to do, even here in Niagara Falls, you don't need. I told someone who ran, you don't need their money for ads. Don't take the $4,000 from the Republican Party. Don't take it. You can do it yourself. You can run in this city out of $500. In my mind, you get some signs, you throw them around, you do everything online. Everyone's watching Facebook in the city, and that's it. You don't need their money. And once you take their money and you're part of their party, you're done.
You're beholden to.
There's a good guy in there, and I'm going to say his name because I like him. Now, I don't know nothing but Spanbauer. I like him, and I always like him. I've always liked him.
He's a very good man.
And I watched what happened here, and I watched somebody who had the right feeling going in, and it's coming out, because if he doesn't, everything he's worked for in the past, you know what? He's one of those guys that I've never heard a bad word. No, I'm not saying, because we've heard that before, and then there's shit about them. But anyways, I'm not going to say that. But he's leaving for a reason, and it's because it's out of, there's nothing
to do. It's easy to tear somebody up publicly because people aren't paying attention, like we all agreed on. Oh, did you hear about that? Did you hear about this? And it's, if they're not paying attention, anything's true to those people.
Because you have a chance. You see, you don't even, I even look at the people that ran for the mayor's race. They were no different than him, the one who's in there now.
Yeah.
It's just attitudes and different arrogances. That's all. But they're all the same.
I mean,
who is my choice going to be? You know what I'm saying? Right. Seth Piccarello or the mayor now, or this guy? What's the difference? In all honesty, and that's how I'm going to look at it when they run again for mayor. Then I'm going to say to myself, and I'm taking my personal feelings out of it. I'm going to say to myself, well, what's the point? All right, here he is. Now, how I vote is this in these situations. You stink. You've been horrible for 4 years. You're a failure. You got to go. Now I'm voting for the other guy. I don't care who the other guy is. I'm voting for him. Because you're a failure. You failed. So, but if I think you're doing good, I might keep you. But so what I'm saying is, who's going to run against the mayor, right? It's going to be nothing. Why would I? You almost get to the point where I understand why the incumbent stays. Because what's the difference? You know what I mean? Right. If you're not being given a difference, then I see why people get sick of it.
So the creation of a new party appeals to you?
No, I want no party. I really want people to stop with the parties, because I think they're so corrupt. I mean, those two parties are huge organizations.
I agree.
And that's why, I get mad, Roe versus Wade. The Democrats are making tons of money off it now because of what happened. The Republicans will make tons of money off than they were in the opposite way. When Roe versus Wade was, you know what I'm saying? They're actually happy to be in the minority. They make more money when they're in minorities. So I think, for example, I think the Senate, I think if it was up to Mitch McConnell in the Senate, he would rather be in the minority. I believe he doesn't want, and I think that's another ulterior motive to make sure that Trump doesn't win. But I mean, do you get my point? I think it's easier to be the minority, because when you're in the minority, you can act like a victim. You can just yell and scream, and you fundraise like crazy. They kind of work together. It's almost like pro wrestling in my eyes. And it's like that here, though, even down to the county level and the city level, they're doing the same thing. I want no party. I love the thought of there never ever being a party again.
Yeah. And it doesn't. It has
the issues out there, and you vote
and
for
me and you.
Think about it. We had somebody running for a judge that could have been the perfect person, you know. And when some people heard that he was, you know, Democrat, even though he was trying to say like, just because I'm, you know, a Democrat doesn't mean that I'm going to be like that other. That some people were just like, oh, well, he's a Democrat.
And there's your party problem.
And you guys fucked up on that one too.
And I voted for him. I knew he was a Democrat. I'm staunch conservative now, but I'm just saying I voted because I liked him. I thought he'd do a good job.
Yeah, but some people hear the word Democrat or Republican, they just start.
Oh, there's too much.
Too much of that. There's those parties that don't.
Not even caring about.
But if you look at Higgins, for example, if he were to lose, it don't matter.
Right.
The next guy's going to do the same thing that the guy before. And it doesn't matter if it's RD. It don't matter. They don't care. They're beholden to, like Jerry said, to that organization, along with then whoever gives them money. You know.
Right.
And here it's funny because that shouldn't happen, but they're doing it. Like, why is our city council people acting that way?
Right.
That's foolish, right? But yeah, that's
so. Here we are spinning our wheels, just like in the wintertime. Your car, and either one that gets into drive, the car's not going anywhere. It's just spinning its tires. So
I got two things. We talked about why there should be an appetite for the for the Child Victims Act and this whole situation. There should be a big appetite. You want to talk about going on the streets and marching and shit. I could see why for that. And this thing with politics, because I think it's the root of all of it, all the evil that's going on here with the corrupt judges, because they have to be elected. The DA is only getting elected in Erie County, so maybe you really don't care what's going on in Niagara County.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's not even worth this while. Who cares? Right. But like, if we ever would, that's something that has to. I hope someday, maybe when I'm no longer here or something, people, all you gotta do is go back to look at what. And I hate to bring this up; they sound like Parlato now. But like, I read back a quote from one of the founding John Adams, and that they tell you about this back in 1700.
Yes.
They say the development of these two parties becoming this big and men with their corruption and they said it, that don't allow it to happen. Well, it's right here. But they love to bring the founding fathers off for a lot of shit.
Yeah, where are they?
I never understood how bad politics were and all that shit. You can't really turn your head once you.
We need true leader, big leaders.
It all too. Every single part of our life is being run by these scumbags, because that is why we know why. That is why D'Angelo's out. It's politics.
He's still involved in politics.
Founding fathers got to be shivering, man. They got to be going, what the hell?
We might be on the. I never talk this way ever, Jerry. I never talk this way. But when it comes to these two, you're on the verge of a collapse, because how can this continue with these two parties?
Right.
They're enormous, and they're failures. That's the thing. They fail way more than they succeed.
Right. The only time I really got people that I saw were actually getting things done. They said they were going to, like Reagan did a good job on some things, not everything.
Not everything.
Yeah, I thought he did it pretty good. But Trump, he said he would do something, it would get done. If he said he was going to move our embassy to Jerusalem, no, every other president in modern times said they would. No, they didn't. He did immediately, took flack for it, because I don't care. I'll just get it done. In energy independence, military buildup.
This is where, Jerry, I just wish he would have not went into that party. Because I don't think he can change it. And I think because they are there, I wish he just would have said, I'm going to do this.
Independent, could he have done that? He can't do it as an independent.
The thing is, though, too, we don't have there's a lot of not
I don't, or could he, or
he
just
could
conservative? Can he call himself conservative?
He could just call himself whatever he wants. Yeah, whatever he likes. He could have been.
He should do that. If he's going to run again, he should do it again.
That they get involved there, because I go back to then when I go look at George Bush, honestly, could be one of the worst presidents we've ever had in our lives with what he did. You know, with 9/11 and stuff in Iraq. And look at that. I don't want to be attached to them too.
Right. I think too.
Right. So it's time to clean up. Yeah. On both parties, they need to. I don't know.
Though, too, people suck, because you see something on the news. People don't even bother to look into things anymore. Somebody will be like, Trump just shot somebody in the face the other day in Kansas, and all of a sudden everyone looking into it. Oh my God, Trump shot him.
I've had people tell me stuff like that. Like, where did you hear it? Who told you that?
People don't want to look into
that
it.
Brian Seltzer guy, they just can't see him. The stuff that came out of his mouth. I used to laugh.
But you can get up there. But you get on air and say Nick D'Angelo raped, it's trying to rape people, and then
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Are you going to cease and desist or something?
Right.
I don't think people suck.
We got a lot of people that like Trump in here. We got Kim Guthrie and Tina.
Love them.
And well, let's see what happens. I guess we should go. We should wrap it. See, yeah, she's a
Bobby, I want John Wayne.
Don't like anyone.
Get John Wayne back in here.
Let's the YWCA, Robin. 716-433-67. Hold on. I guess you can see. Can you see it? The numbers? Did I put it up yet on the screen?
716-433-6714.
You can see it? Okay, yep. 716-433-6714, the YWCA, with counselors there waiting for you right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they are the same counselor that Robin spoke to.
Yes.
And you know how great they are, right?
Amazing. Advocates, counselors, anything you need. I mean, just amazing services. Like, you know, if somebody that you love has been affected by sexual assault, they're wonderful with that.
And you know why? Because you got to fight through the nonsense that we've been talking about all night. As the person who, you know what I mean? Because you got to fight through the thick of, why did you take so long for you to talk? Or why did you all this other garbage? And then it gets really crazy sometimes, the thoughts in people's minds. So it's good to talk to them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who should call the line.
They really should.
I should actually send this number to everybody who's ever questioned me or anybody on that type of shit. I should go back and find their names. Actually, I do have a list somewhere.
Oh, wait, what's Dominic doing here? Take Kim's advice and take some vacation time and do a show from Bermuda. I'll see y'all at the airport. I'd love to do a show.
That would be amazing.
All right, mental health, 844-794-3812. That is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's for anxieties and depression and all of that stuff, you know. That's
everybody. I feel like at some point has an issue, you know, their mental health.
It could get dark,
Nobody
sometimes.
escapes that kind of thing.
No.
But it's but don't be ashamed to get help.
Nothing to be embarrassed
Especially guys, you know.
And then there's this number, 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Please call that one.
Yeah, that's like I said, I'm glad they shortened the number up.
You know,
because I mean, that's.
If you're even contemplating that kind of stuff at all in your mind, just call the number. There's someone there and they care and they're not anonymous. They're not going to tell your work. They're not going to tell anybody.
Is that number for all states or is it just New York State?
All states.
I know somebody who had to call that recently and they helped them talk about everything.
That's great.
God bless those people. Huh?
Yes.
Wow.
They're really in a bad state of mind, ready to do something, and they called and they talked to them.
They're heroes. People like that.
For free.
Silent too.
You don't even know who they are. You know.
No.
All right. No, go ahead.
No.
Human trafficking, 888-373-7888. Noelle, talk about you started the human trafficking stuff a little while ago. Oh, bring it to light. Talk about it.
Human trafficking. It is so bad right now in our own city that we live in, our state, our whole country, the whole world. It is the number one. It is the biggest problem going on right now. The biggest money-making business, trafficking children, for trading them for sex and money. Not even just children, other people too. So please, if you feel like you have even if you don't know for a fact, but you think that you saw something suspicious, or you think you might know somebody who's trafficking or being trafficked, call that number. You're not going to get, they're not going to sit there and come to your house or know your name. It's anonymous. You could be anonymous. Even if you're afraid that maybe you said something that's not true, okay, well, guess what? They'll look into it, see if it's true or not. Regardless, you can save somebody and take these people down. Just call that number if you think you know something or you see something suspicious. Save somebody.
Definitely. Thank you. And by the way, the YWCA is in every state, every county in the United States, along in Canada and provinces too. You learned that. Remember that poor girl in Ohio?
Yeah.
Jeez, and thank God we found a spot for her. Or you did, not me. Let's look at the comments. Good. Love your hair and eyebrow.
Oh, thank you. Tim, I took like 2 hours on my eyebrows alone.
I get it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I decided to go. And I had
like us on Facebook. Share our shows, please. Also, The Friends with a Z Media Network is our new YouTube channel. And that's where you can find all of our shows, which include Robin's show tomorrow, which we don't know what we're talking about, but you'll put out a thing later.
I will.
Robin Rustino Live. Then you have the sports show, and I want to thank that's Goal Getters. Last week, and growing, 2,300 views. So that was cool on that one. So they're doing good. My friend Scott Taggart, along with, I think Julio is back this week. So
Someday.
I would love it someday. to come out. I'm sure you'll. Yeah, and then the show of shows, an unbelievable show, is Falls Count Anywhere. Last week we had Sergeant Slaughter's daughter on, and she is an athlete, but she was really cool because she talked to us about what it was like growing up as his daughter, and in 6th grade when his character went from Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe to being an Iraqi sympathizer, and how her problems, people wanting to like fight her. And being so mad at her because her father was playing an Iraqi sympathizer and the bomb threats and the death threats. Oh, wow. So she was interesting. That's Sergeant Slaughter's daughter. We had coming up is a guy, if you know wrestling, Jumping Jim Brunzell will be with us in a couple weeks. So that's kind of cool.
Make sure you guys share this stuff. Hit a share button, encourage everyone,
Yep. And
if you guys have any ideas for us for next week or something, you guys have any ideas of what you want to talk about, more than welcome.
Yes.
People need to start speaking out. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your family about the sex trade, and especially what's going on in this city.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let's end on that.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for watching. If you liked our video, then click the like button below and the subscribe button to be notified when a new video is uploaded. Here are some of our other videos. Remember to leave a comment below.